Do you know the greatest secret behind unstoppable women? It's not beauty, it's not luck, and no, it's not even talent. It's this. Every single day, they educate themselves. Every single day. While others scroll, gossip, and waste precious time, queens are building their minds like fortresses. You cannot lead the world with an empty mind. And remember, when you stop learning, you stop leading. Are you willing to be the girl who feeds her mind or the one who follows forever? Choose. Because this is the truth no one told you. Knowledge is your greatest accessory. Yes, you heard that right. It's not your expensive bag, not those glittering heels, not even the perfect shade of lipstick you carefully chose this morning. It's your mind, a well-fed, educated, alert mind that shines brighter than any designer dress could. When you walk into a room, before they notice your outfit, your scent, your style, they feel your knowledge. They sense the power of your mind before your beauty ever speaks. Why? Because knowledge speaks louder than appearances. Appearances can fade, trends can die, but a sharp, aware mind is forever stunning. Think about this. A woman who can quote from a book, solve a problem, give an informed opinion, or simply ask the right question in the right moment. She holds the room. She captivates people. They lean in, they listen. She doesn't have to scream for attention. Her knowledge demands it without effort. When you are informed, when you've filled your mind with rich information, whether from a podcast, on your drive to work, a quick YouTube tutorial while doing makeup, or a book you read for 10 minutes before bed, you carry something magical. A quiet, unshakable confidence. It's the same confidence that makes a simple black dress unforgettable. Not because of the dress itself, but because of the woman inside it. Imagine this. A woman walks into a coffee meeting for a potential job. She's dressed perfectly, nails done, hair shiny. But when the conversation starts, she struggles to offer ideas. She knows nothing about the latest trends in the industry. Her silence speaks louder than her outfit. Now picture another woman, maybe dressed simply, no fancy brands, but she's done her homework. She's read the latest market updates, knows the company's goals, and brings fresh, bold ideas. Who do you think they remember after the meeting? Who will they call back? The woman with the glowing mind, not the glowing outfit. Or let's take relationships. A man can date 100 pretty faces, but the woman he thinks about at night is the one who challenged him, taught him something new, inspired him to see the world differently. Beauty fades after the third dinner, but a beautiful mind, full of knowledge, curiosity, and wisdom, stays in a man's heart forever. When you talk about books, life, ideas, even dreams, with passion and depth, you create chemistry no makeup ever could. You make people feel something rare, mental attraction. And believe me, that is the most dangerous, irresistible attraction there is. Think about when you stand in a crowd, maybe in an office meeting or at a family dinner. How many women stay quiet because they think they have nothing to say? Not because they are not beautiful or talented, but because they have not fed their minds enough to speak with certainty. The woman who reads daily, listens to podcasts while cleaning, learns something while commuting, she always has something valuable to say. And when she speaks, people listen. Because wisdom is rare. It cuts through noise like a blade through silk. Even at home, when you talk to your kids, your siblings, your friends, your knowledge shapes their thinking. If you have read about health, you can guide your family to live better. If you learn about emotional intelligence, you can handle arguments with peace and maturity. Knowledge gives you the tools to solve everyday life puzzles, to be the queen of not just style but substance. And don't forget, the world gives more respect to an educated mind than to a decorated body. A woman who can talk about technology, politics, finance, art, she sits at tables where the world's decisions are made. She is remembered. She is needed. She is respected. Because knowledge makes you valuable beyond looks. It's the silent power you wear every day without effort. It is the glow no one can steal. A well-educated woman commands every room she enters. Not because she shouts the loudest, not because she wears the brightest color, and not because she flaunts her beauty. No, her presence is silent but powerful. It's like gravity, unseen but impossible to ignore. When she walks in, people sense something different, something rare, something magnetic. It is not the jewelry around her neck, it is the knowledge within her mind. Because while others spend their evenings gossiping, scrolling endlessly through meaningless feeds, or wasting time trying to impress the world with shallow appearances, she spends her time feeding her mind, reading, watching, listening, thinking. And that changes everything. Imagine a company meeting where everyone is nervously flipping through papers, unsure of what to suggest. The air is tense, the manager is looking for new ideas. Silence. No one dares to speak. And then she raises her hand. Calm, graceful, confident. She has read about market trends last night while sipping tea. She listened to an industry podcast while doing her morning makeup. Her ideas are fresh, bold, different. And the whole room turns to listen. The boss leans forward, eyes widen, pen scribble furiously. Why? Because she brought value, not noise, not small talk, real value. A mind like that is impossible to ignore. Or picture a family dinner, relatives gathered around, the same old discussions about the weather, gossip, money. But when she speaks, when she shares an inspiring story she read about a woman changing lives across the world, suddenly the table goes quiet. Even the elders nod. Even the children listen. Her words fill the room with something beautiful. Purpose, inspiration, knowledge that lifts people from small thinking to big dreams. The entire room shifts because she brought something real to the table. Not drama, not complaints, but wisdom. Even in the smallest moments, her education makes her shine. At a coffee shop, standing in line, she overhears two strangers struggling with something. A direction, a local event, a question about books. Most would ignore it, pretending not to care. But not her. She politely turns, gently offers information she recently read or learned. A helpful fact, a new perspective, and suddenly she is not just another face in the crowd. She is remembered, appreciated, admired. Because people can feel the difference between someone who lives on surface level knowledge and someone who dives deeper into life. Think about relationships. A man might enjoy beauty for a moment. He might praise a smile, a dress, a hairstyle. But the woman who stays on his mind, the one who haunts his thoughts long after the date, is the woman who made him think, who taught him something new, who spoke about life, dreams, philosophy, the future, who surprised him with her depth, her curiosity, her mind. Beauty excites him for an evening. Knowledge stays with him forever. It lingers. It whispers in his mind when he is alone. Because he has met someone rare, someone unforgettable, someone who doesn't just entertain, but enlightens. Even when life throws challenges, this woman stands different. When a crisis comes, financial trouble, family drama, career blocks, others panic. But she thinks, she reads, she searches for solutions. She learns from others who have walked the path before, and she handles it all with grace. Because education gave her tools. Intelligence gave her patience. Wisdom gave her strength. Where others fall apart, she builds a way forward. Calm, smart, unshaken. In social circles too, she commands quiet respect. When friends gather, the ones who only talk about fashion, men, or parties fade into the background after a while. But she, the one who talks about new ideas, amazing books, world-changing people, she becomes the star. Not because she demands attention, but because her words carry weight. When she speaks, the room listens. She brings something bigger than trends. She brings knowledge that lifts souls, stirs ambition, wakes people from their comfort. Even in her private moments, this education changes her. When self-doubt creeps in, when the world seems harsh or unfair, she opens a book, watches a documentary, listens to a mentor online, and her mind fills with light again. She remembers who she is, what she knows, what she can still become. No one can take this power from her. No heartbreak, no failure, no rejection can break her. Because her strength is not skin deep, it's mind deep, it's rooted, eternal, and that is why every room she walks into feels it. The quiet, undeniable power of a well-educated woman. You're either growing or dying. There's no middle ground. Life is not meant to be lived in pause mode. Nothing in this universe stays still. The plants outside your window are either blooming or withering. The muscles in your body are either being built or wasting away. Your mind is either being filled with new wisdom or slowly going dull with ignorance. There is no such thing as maintaining the same level forever. The moment you think, I have learnt enough, I have done enough, I can relax now, you have unconsciously chosen to shrink, to fade, to rot. Look around you. The successful ones, whether they are CEOs, athletes, artists, or even that quiet neighbor who seems to have it all together, are always learning something new. They are pushing their limits. A businesswoman doesn't sit back because her company is making profits. She reads market reports, learns new strategies, explores new territory. She understands the game. Today's innovation becomes tomorrow's old news. If she pauses, the world will pass her by, and someone hungrier will take her place. Think about your body. When you skip the gym for weeks, what happens? Your energy drops, your strength weakens, your stamina fades. Muscles don't stay the same. They either grow stronger or they shrink. A man who runs daily, sweats, and pushes himself uphill is not just exercising his legs. He is training his mind to embrace struggle, effort, growth. The moment he stops, he isn't resting. He's sliding backwards, losing edge, losing fire. The same applies to the mind. Imagine a student who finishes university and says, I'm done learning. What happens to him? In 5 years, his skills are outdated, his knowledge irrelevant. The world will not wait for him. Technology will change, industries will evolve, and he will become lost in confusion. But the student who reads every day, who watches lectures, listens to podcasts, stays curious, he becomes priceless. Look at relationships. A marriage that stops growing starts dying. A couple that stops learning about each other, that stops trying new things, having deeper conversations, exploring dreams together, they slowly drift apart. One day they wake up like strangers. Why? Because they thought they could press pause. But life doesn't pause. Connection either deepens or weakens. The couple that reads books together, travels, shares ideas, takes up new hobbies, they keep falling in love over and over and over. And the couple that reads books together stops dying. They keep falling in love over. And they stay alive, curious, fresh. Growth keeps the bond unbreakable. Even in your inner world, this truth whispers daily. Your thoughts are either lifting you or pulling you down. When you wake up in the morning, you either set intentions, feed your mind with positivity, gratitude and learning, or you let anxiety, comparison and negativity rot your spirit. There is no middle. A woman who meditates, journals, reads wisdom, even for 10 minutes, grows into peace, patience, strength. But the one who wakes up and reaches straight for gossip, drama, or endless scrolling is shrinking inside. Her energy, her focus, her light, slowly dying without her realizing it. Think of finances. A person who saves, invests, learns about money, grows their wealth. Even small daily choices, skipping a coffee, investing that money, compound into riches. But the one who ignores learning about money, who spends carelessly, stays in debt, the rich get richer because they grow their financial wisdom. The poor stay poor because they refuse to learn. It's not luck, it's growth versus decay. Or creativity. An artist who sketches daily, who tries new styles, who reads about history, art and form, keeps evolving. The artist who stops after one masterpiece, who refuses to experiment, dies creatively. Their art becomes boring, for growth is the fuel of greatness. Even confidence is a living thing. The woman who learns new skills, public speaking, leadership, negotiation, radiates confidence because she grows in capability. The one who hides, avoids learning, stays stuck in old fears, her confidence shrinks. Every brave step taken today makes tomorrow easier. Every ignored fear today becomes tomorrow's wall. Life is cruel to those who stand still. It rewards those who move, learn, try, fail, rise, and try again. A tree that stops stretching towards sunlight dies slowly. So do you. The mind, the soul, the body, they need daily challenge, daily nourishment, daily expansion, or they fade. The choice is always being made, even when you think you are resting, even when you think you are safe. Daily learning builds emotional intelligence too. You see, people think emotional intelligence is something you are born with, like a personality trait. But the truth is, it is a skill, a muscle. And just like any other muscle, if you feed it, train it, and stretch it daily, it grows. Ignore it, and it weakens. Every moment you read a new perspective, listen to someone's story, or learn about human behavior, your emotional intelligence rises. You start understanding people better. You start understanding yourself better. And this changes your entire life. Imagine this simple example. You're standing in line at a grocery store. The person in front of you is snapping at the cashier. Most people would roll their eyes, feel annoyed, maybe even mumble something rude. But a person who learns daily, who has read about patience, empathy, human stress, will see deeper. Maybe this angry person just lost their job. Maybe they're dealing with sickness. Your learning teaches you not to judge, not to react. You stay calm, maybe even smile gently. You walk away, peaceful, while others carry the poison of anger. That's emotional intelligence in action. And it came because you chose to learn. Or think about your relationship with friends. Someone cancels on you last minute. Before learning, you would have taken it personally. They don't value me. They're selfish. But because you listened to that podcast on boundaries and personal struggles, because you read that book on handling friendships with grace, you pause. You send a gentle message. You ask if they're okay. And suddenly they confess they're struggling mentally, breaking inside, afraid to burden anyone. Your learning saved a friendship. Your emotional intelligence saved trust. Most people lose relationships because they react. You save them because you've learned not to. Even at work, this truth shows itself. A boss criticizes your project. Your old self would panic, get defensive, feel insulted. But today, because you read about feedback, about growth mindset, you see the deeper meaning. It's not an attack. It's a chance to improve. You thank them. You ask how you can make it better. Your colleagues stare in surprise. You rise above drama, above insecurity. You rise because your mind was fed with wisdom. That's daily learning, shaping emotional mastery. Or picture a heated family argument. Your sister says something cruel. Your old self would have exploded back, defended, fought. But not now. Now you pause. Breathe. Remember the book you read about emotional triggers and childhood wounds. You see her pain hidden behind her words. You respond softly, kind, maybe even change the mood with gentle humor. The fight ends before it starts. Peace wins. Growth wins. Not because you're special, but because you learned. And even in moments of self-doubt, when you make a mistake and that inner critic rises, learning saves you because you read that book on self-compassion, because you heard that speech about handling failure. You stop the cruel voice in your head. You forgive yourself. You try again. Without learning, you'd be stuck in shame, in regret. But knowledge freed you. Knowledge gave you emotional freedom. Even parenting shows this lesson. A mother who reads about child psychology, who learns daily about patience and discipline, handles her child's tantrum with calm wisdom. She teaches, not punishes. She guides, not shouts. Her child feels safe, understood. Another mother who never learns, screams, breaks the child's spirit. One simple choice of daily learning creates generations of emotional health. In leadership too, emotional intelligence rules. A boss who reads about empathy, who learns from others, inspires loyalty. Her team feels seen, valued, heard. They work harder, love her more. A boss who never learns leads with fear, control, coldness, and her people leave. Growth brings connection. Ignorance breeds isolation. Even when stuck in traffic, daily learning changes you. Others honk, curse, stress. You smile, knowing from your learning that stress solves nothing. You listen to an audiobook. You grow while others burn with anger. In pain, in joy, in boredom. Daily learning raises your emotional strength. You master yourself, while the world stays a slave to feelings. And that mastery makes you unbreakable. When you learn, you inspire everyone around you. Whether you realize it or not, your growth creates a silent ripple that touches lives beyond your own. When you fill your mind with new knowledge, new skills, new understanding, people can feel it. They may not see the book you read last night or the podcast you played while cooking breakfast, but they see the change in you, the calm in your speech, the clarity in your thoughts, the strength in your decision. And slowly, without even trying, you become a quiet force that pulls others higher. Think about the mother who spends her free moments reading about health, education, and child development. Her kids don't see the articles on her phone or the parenting books by her bed, but they feel the difference. She speaks to them with more patience. She teaches with more creativity. She solves their little problems with wisdom. Her growth becomes their safety. Her knowledge becomes their future. One day they will remember not the toys she bought, not the vacations, but the lessons, the words, the calm confidence in her voice. She inspired without preaching. She lifted by growing herself. Or picture the young man in an office who refuses to settle. While others gossip during lunch breaks, he reads business strategies, learns communication skills, sharpens his mind. At first, no one notices. But soon, when problems appear, he's the one with solutions. When a client complains, he's the one who calms the storm. His growth inspires his team to try harder. His quiet hunger makes them wonder, maybe I should learn too. He becomes a leader without asking to be one. Because growth attracts. Effort inspires. His simple daily learning plants seeds in the hearts of those who watch him. Even friendships change when you choose to learn. Imagine two best friends. One watches endless TV shows, gossips, complains about life. The other reads, listens, stretches her thinking. When they meet, the learner speaks of new ideas, new places, new dreams. She lights a fire in her friend's dull routine. Where did you learn that? Her friend asks. And soon, curiosity is born. The second friend starts reading too, listening too. All because one person chose to grow. When you learn, you light torches in other people's darkness. Without forcing, without teaching, just by being. A father who learns about emotions teaches his son to speak his heart instead of hiding his fears. His growth breaks generations of silence. A sister who learns about confidence inspires her younger sibling to stand tall in school. A boss who reads about kindness leads with compassion and builds a workplace where people feel safe, valued, brave. The next among our allies and bosses, growth. Where's an impact you have on other people? What is the value in all of it? Make a difference leads you to the place where people feel peace. Life at leader. When you grow, the world around you breathes easier. People become their better selves in your presence. Even strangers feel this ripple. Imagine sitting on a bus beside a woman reading a self-help book. You glance, curious. You note the title. Later, you search for it, read it, and your life shifts. A small moment, but the spark was her choice to learn. Or the man who shares an idea from a podcast in a casual chat. His friend laughs, but later thinks about it and changes his career path. A simple word from a growing mind shapes destiny. Think of lovers too. A woman who learns how to communicate, who understands love languages, teaches her partner to open up, to trust, to heal old wounds. Her learning rebuilds not just the relationship, but the broken man beside her. She inspires him to grow too. Love becomes stronger because one person fed their mind. Or the teacher who studies late at night, finding better ways to teach. Her students feel it. They listen more. They care more. They dream bigger. One teacher's hunger lifts 100 young lives. Or the doctor who learns new treatments after long shifts. She saves more lives because she refused to stop learning. Her growth becomes hope for the sick. Even the quiet reader in the corner of the cafe changes the air. People see the book, they wonder, maybe they buy the same book tomorrow. One mind growing feeds the silent courage of others. It spreads like perfume, unseen but deeply felt. Every day you learn, you become this silent, unstoppable inspiration. You show what is possible. You remind the world that growth is not dead. You become proof that learning is power. Educating yourself daily is self-love in action. When you take time every day to feed your mind, you are sending a loud, silent message to yourself. I am worthy. I am valuable. I deserve to grow. Most people think self-love is bubble baths, chocolates, shopping sprees, or vacations. But the highest form of self-love is the investment you make in your mind. It's picking up that book instead of the phone. It's choosing to listen to a podcast of wisdom instead of gossip. It's sitting in quiet learning while the world screams for your attention. Because when you learn, you protect your future self. You are building her strength, her peace, her success, brick by brick, day by day. Imagine a woman standing before a mirror, looking at a reflection. She can apply the best makeup, wear the finest dress, but none of that covers an empty mind. She knows it. True confidence is not in the perfect lipstick shade. It's in knowing something others don't. It's in having ideas that light up conversations. When she reads, when she learns, she becomes radiant, not because of what's outside, but because of the quiet fire burning inside. Her self-love shows in the way she educates herself, not for the world, not for applause, but for her own soul. Or think of the tired man after work, exhausted. Everyone around him watches TV, mindlessly killing time. But he picks up a book on finances. He learns how to save, how to invest. He's tired now, but his future self will thank him. Because while others waste years, he will be free. He will not panic at old age. He will not drown in debt. His quiet learning today is a loud roar of self-love for tomorrow. His children will live better because he dared to learn. Even in health, this truth is clear. A woman who reads about nutrition, fitness, and mental wellness is loving herself deeply. She skips the soda not because of rules, but because knowledge taught her better. She sleeps early, not because of fear, but because she understands how sleep heals the body and mind. Her glowing skin, her calm mood, her energy, they are signs of self-education. Every wise choice she makes screams, I care for myself. Her learning protects her from sickness, stress, and regret. Relationships reveal this too. A man who studies emotional intelligence, who learns about communication and boundaries, is loving himself more than any gift can show. He refuses to stay in toxic circles. He walks away from abuse. He speaks his truth with grace. Why? Because he educated himself on his worth. He learned what healthy love looks like. His peace, his confidence, they are self-love born from learning. Ignorance keeps people trapped in pain. Knowledge sets them free. Even simple daily choices reflect this power. A woman sitting alone in a cafe, reading a book on leadership while others scroll through endless reels, is practicing silent self-love. She is feeding her future boss self. She is preparing for the opportunity that will one day knock. The world sees her sipping coffee, but her soul is growing wings. Her small act of daily education is shaping her destiny. And that is the most beautiful love letter to herself. Think about self-esteem. A young man rejected by the world, laughed at by peers, sits at night learning new skills, coding, design, writing. Every hour he invests says, I believe in me, even when they don't. One day he will rise, one day they will watch him shine. But he will know it wasn't luck. It was self-love disguised as learning. Even in loneliness, this truth saves lives. A woman, heartbroken and lost, picks up books on healing, growth, and spirituality instead of drowning in sadness. Each page she reads stitches her soul. Each word reminds her, you are worthy, you will rise. Her daily learning becomes her lifeboat. Her mind becomes her escape from despair. Her self-love grows stronger than her pain. At work, this habit builds success. An employee who trains daily, learns systems, improves skills, becomes priceless. She earns more, commands respect, builds freedom. All because she loved herself enough to keep learning when others stopped. Even in silence, this self-love glows. A person sitting quietly in the morning, feeding the mind with wisdom, refuses to waste the day. They choose growth over comfort, knowledge over ignorance, power over weakness. Their soul whispers, I am becoming more. That is real self-love, the kind that no one sees, but everyone feels. So here we are, standing on the edge of possibility, with one truth ringing clear and loud. Education is not a duty. It's the purest act of self-respect. It's not something you do to pass exams or win trophies. No, education, real, raw, soul-shaking education, is the armor you wear in a world that is quick to confuse you, distract you, or break you. Every page you read, every new idea you embrace, every skill you master, these are not small things, and they become more promising every day. And the skill you bring, these are the bricks that build the empire of your future. Because listen carefully, the world does not belong to the beautiful, the lucky, or the loud. The world bows to the woman who dares to learn every single day. The woman who sharpens her mind like a blade. The woman who feeds her soul with wisdom. The woman who says silently to herself, I refuse to remain the same. You see, life is not waiting for you to be ready. Life is not pausing while you scroll, binge, gossip, and waste another golden sunrise. Life moves, and you must move with it, or be left behind. And what moves you is not motivation, it's education. It's that quiet hour before bed when you choose a book over distraction. It's that small choice to listen to wisdom instead of noise. It's that simple decision to ask questions instead of pretending you know it all. And slowly, day by day, you become unstoppable. I tell you this from the deepest truth. People respect beauty, but they follow wisdom. People admire success, but they are changed by knowledge. You can wear the finest clothes, speak the sweetest words, but if your mind is empty, your soul stays hungry. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in gold, not in property, not even in relationships. It is in the library of your mind. Because when the lights go out, when the world falls silent, when no one is clapping, you are left with your thoughts. And God help the man or woman whose thoughts are weak and shallow. But bless the one who fill their mind with light. For they will rise when others fall. They will see hope when others see darkness. They will find strength when others break. And remember this, your learning is not just for you. When you educate yourself, you set fire to the hearts around you. Your children watch you, your friends feel you, your co-workers see you. Without speaking, without preaching, you inspire. Because wisdom shines without words. Growth glows in the eyes. Power radiates from the soul of the learner. You may think you're invisible, but your discipline echoes far beyond what you see. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra, that extra book you read, that extra skill you learn, that extra effort you give. While the world sleeps, you rise. While the world gossips, you grow. While the world waits, you build. And that is why you will win. Because fortune favors the mind that never stops growing. Success kisses the soul that hungers for knowledge. And destiny bends for the one who refuses to stay small. So what will you choose? Comfort or greatness? Ease or evolution? Fear or freedom? The world is full of people who want change but hate growth. Don't be one of them. Be the rare one, the dangerous one. The woman or man who scares the world because you are learning faster than they can handle. As the great Jim Rohn once said, formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune. And as Robin Sharma reminds us, ordinary people have big TVs. Extraordinary people have big libraries. Which will you be? This is your moment. Your quiet revolution. Every page you read, every podcast you play, every mentor you follow, you are chiseling greatness out of your soul. Because you are not here to remain the same. You are here to become unstoppable, unforgettable, untouchable. They may doubt you, mock you, because you chose to learn when they chose to sleep. Let this fire burn forever. Learning is loving yourself. Growing is respecting your destiny. Educating yourself daily is the loudest scream of self-belief the universe will ever hear. And in this world, the most dangerous force of all is not beauty, luck, or fame,